Next we have from the Australian Catholic University of Blacktown, two speakers, Syed and Hormoz, and they will be speaking on the role of entrepreneur hope and resilience during and after COVID-19. So put your hands together for these guys. Thank you.
Shall we go up to it? Go up. Good morning, friends. Thank you so much for being here. And, sorry? So, I'll be talking about that. We decided not to bore you, and that's why we didn't bring statistics and several research findings. What we decided that we would talk about our personal experiences, something that's common between us and you. And it's pretty much like the role of entrepreneurial hope. We both are entrepreneurs. We spent almost more than a decade in managing organizations. Our stories are different, but we will do that. Next, please. So, yep.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Hormoz. Thank you for the time. As Syed said, we are both practitioners and researchers, and we have been applying this concept of childhood when we talk about entrepreneurship, liking your startup ideas and moving forward with them. And it's pretty much relevant when it comes to the COVID-19, what happened during this time and what happened after that. Now, something that is very important is, of course, there are lots of technical stuff that are being covered by our colleagues today, and they're much more knowledgeable than us, talking about, especially the previous presentation that has already been done was very informative and detailed. But one thing that we want to talk about is about the psychology of entrepreneurs. We want to talk about emotions. There have been so many people experiencing anxiety. They got depressed, stressed because of losses and everything. This has happened in the entrepreneurship ecosystem everywhere, and it has affected everyone. So one thing that, I'm not going to give any prescriptions, but one thing that Syed and I have been doing, at least for our own communities, is that there have been entrepreneurs who have been affected. And we thought about the idea of having the entrepreneurship clinic, which was about those who have failed, who have got difficulties, and they need someone to talk to. They need someone to go to. Life is a painful process. Everybody knows that. I don't want to become very philosophical, talk about philosophies of life. I don't have that knowledge. But at least for me, as an entrepreneur, it has been between every two miseries, there is happiness. And we have to take advantage of that. So there is a lot have been going on in communicating with the community. And some of them are based in Blacktown as well, helping them to improve, to stand up again, pull up their socks, and continue with their ideas. Especially that's the bad news when you receive some messages from people saying, I want to quit. I don't want to continue anymore. There have been losses. I've lost employees. I've shut down the store. I don't want to start again. I'm getting some support from the government. Maybe I just need to try hard to survive. I've gone through that pain. Syed has gone through that pain. But there is a need for some training, uplifting our skills that we will talk a little bit more further. Thank you.
Just come on the previous one.
Yeah.
Let's think about the start. Like, what happened? Our moms, they had pains. They had difficult times. They had challenges. And it was just not for a day or a month, 9 months. Difficult time, pretty difficult time. And then what happened? Like, we were there. It was a nice moment for them. It was a nice moment for the family. And what's the next step? Then they started taking care of us, giving us a bit of training, giving us a bit of the light of the morality and ethics. What was the next? It was all structured and a bit of semi-structured and to some extent unstructured as well. But yes, there was a movement. They were giving us some sort of a manners. And after it, we got independence. There was ups, downs, but we got independence at the end. And ultimately what happened, we started contributing to the community. We started contributing towards the family, towards the community, towards the society, towards the international community. And that's exactly what happens with everyone. We start with a very tough situation, and then there is a time which is a very good, positive time. Please, next. So, this is me, and I'm different from you guys. Years ago, when I came here, I had 4 colleges of technology and 4 campuses of a school, American school system, big American school system. I came here to get back to the Pakistan. In 2010, my father died. In 2011, my sister died. In 2012, my eldest brother was murdered by the Talibans. 18 bullets, they're gone. And then I went back, took care of the family of my brother, got them back to Australia, and then just last year, I lost my mother, I lost my brother within 20 days. You got it? But still, there was one thing that I knew, that if I lose hope, and hope is just not some sort of expectations for some good time. No, absolutely. It is pretty much a very systematic, calculated energy that you need to, move yourself to a certain goal, number 1. And number 2, it gives you the pathway through which you will attain your goal. It's just not the energy, it's just not the aspiration. You really need to be very systematic. And so this is me, I promise. I'm one of the contributors to the research, to the community engagement, and in ACU, I got the Vice Chancellor Excellence Award for the community, the biggest award. But how did it happen? Only because hope was with me. That's all. Please, Hormoz, yours.
Okay, that's me, 42 years ago. I was born in Tehran. Iran, everybody familiar with Iran. So many issues in Iran, so many things that have been happening all these years. 6 months after I was born, Iraqi army invaded my country. Saddam Hussein, you know that name. And we had to escape from one point to another. But I think there is something that was inherited from my parents and me. They have been the best entrepreneurs I've ever seen in my life. These lovely people. They're in their 80s right now. And I remember at my childhood, my mother got a bit stressed at some stage, said, okay, Saddam Hussein is bombarding our city. Many people are getting killed. Where should we go? Maybe, I don't know. My father said, maybe let's take a trip. And these 2 lovely people made a decision. That was first I saw resilience and hope. Yeah, about, okay, let's do something, change our life. And they made a decision to travel to Europe. Can you believe that? During the war? And Iranians, they need to get visa for every single country. Even at that time, it was much worse. So we slept in the queues to get visa from 3 or 4 embassies in Tehran. And we started the trip with a very limited budget. I don't know, it was $1,200 or something. That was nothing, actually. So we took Iran Air, we went to Frankfurt in Germany, and we cycled all the way to Belgium to see my aunt. So that was the very first entrepreneurial experience that I had in my life as an Iranian. So when you face lots of restrictions, COVID-19 is a restriction, you learn how to cope with it. Restrictions help you to convert threats into opportunities. That is what we try to teach our students in the class. So that was what I inherited from my parents. Then at some stage I was playing guitar in a band inside of Iran. I had no idea of business, to be honest with you. I was a gypsy. And my father gave me a call, said, son, you got admission to the engineering school. Come back to the capital, I'm going to support you, Middle Eastern families. They tell you what they like you to become. So I said, okay. I went to the engineering school. I was terrible the first 2 semesters, failing every single subject because I hated mathematics and stats. But at some stage, my father started a conversation with me, say, son, we don't want you to fail because you don't know how much financial pressure is on us to pay for your tuition fee anytime you fail. And then I promised myself not to fail again. And I don't know what happened. Gradually, I got interested in engineering. I teamed up with 2 of my friends, God bless them both. We created some nice ideas. We developed a product. We took it to the oil and gas and refinery market. It's a big market in Iran. And we finally made it. It took us about 1.5 years to sell our first unit of the product. And that was the first sales. And things changed. I'm not coming from a wealthy family, but hey, I achieved everything I expected for in my childhood. I bought several properties, fancy cars, everything that you can imagine for a Middle Eastern family. But it took only 3 years to taste happiness and success. Suddenly we failed because we were immature entrepreneurs and we lost everything in less than 4 weeks. I was below zero. We got people knocking on our doors asking for their monies. But we didn't escape. I tried to change the pathway of my life becoming an academic. And I came to this beautiful country, Australia. The reason I'm alive today is because of Australia, to be honest with you. So I became an academic. I started developing a new career for myself to train future entrepreneurs. And yeah, that's pretty much my story. And for 4 years, I was paying back my debts in Iran because we ended up with so much debt. And when I was getting my PhD in University of Tasmania, there was so much conversation today about Tasmania. I lived in Tasmania for 8 years, by the way. I got my PhD from University of Tasmania. So when I went to the stage to get my PhD, it was only 7 days after I paid the last installment of my debts as an entrepreneur. But resilience, that's something that I want to focus on today, in addition to hope, because I told you we're going to talk about psychological mechanisms of entrepreneurs.
Yeah. So now you understand that probably in difficult times there are two things, hope and resilience. Hope that helps you to attain a certain goal that you set, gives you the pathway to lead it to it, and resilience, because you face a lot of difficulties, you need to bounce back, you need to come back, you need to, you just don't escape. You just stand there, you know, have a punch and then again come back, have a punch and then come back. So that's how the combination of hope and resilience work very well in difficult situations. And we have not brought our papers that have been published in the world's top tier journal, but I promise that the findings of a large number of studies simply show us that the hope and resilience, if you have these two things, you would be back to the normal. That's all. Exactly the way my mom got pains, and then again, there was a moment when I was contributing. Hormoz was contributing again, you know. So please, next.
Just adding one thing about resilience and hope. Again, Syed mentioned about the losses in his family. Just, you know, about COVID issue in Iran. Still people are dying every day. And I lost 12 relatives in only 1 month. But I'm still here. I'm standing up because I got the hope and resilience. And never ever forget about having conversation within your communities with other entrepreneurs and sharing experiences. That is how I have tried to survive, how I have tried to help others.
And guys, one little thing. Could you remember I mentioned that there were 4 colleges and 4 schools in Pakistan. They're still there. 292 people. So I'm enjoying, I mean, for example, if hope and resilience are not there, then I'm not going to contribute to those 219 people. But 292 people in a collectivist society means 292 families multiplied by at least 5 to 8 people in each family. So I am happy here if I'm not looking at them, but I'm more happy when I take care of them. So yes, please. So yeah, look at the stats. We don't need to just, you know, tell. This is a difficult time. Yes, you're right. People affected by COVID, and you know, in the eastern part of the world, the Asian countries, these statistics are just you know, I would say multiplied by 5. People just don't go to the hospitals, don't report their deaths. You know, we all know these things. Please, next. So 3 top things, last 2 slides. 3 top things that would help you become hopeful, and that's what we have found in the literature. We have talked to a large number. We do a lot of consulting as well, and we work with the entrepreneurs. We work with the industry professionals. Again, we are involved in several research projects. Don't want to bore you, but there are 3 things that please consider these things when you are actually making your way. Number 1, keeping things in perspective. Things have been changed. Try to understand that people are not the same. They're coming up from a different perspective. Our previous speaker had talked about so many things. Now the firms are changed. Firms' culture has been changed. People, by mind, they have changed. Welcome them in a way that they don't feel that they are stranger to you guys. Second thing, maintain a hopeful outlook. What does it mean? Yeah, what does it mean? It simply means don't spread anxiety, depression, stress. Let's spread hope. And last thing, move towards your shared goals. You know, collaborate, as been mentioned. Collaborate and just meet with the people. Go for the blue ocean strategy. This is the crux. We don't need any statistics to understand these things, and that's why we just brought these things. And that's based on the human experience. Hormoz, please, next.
Sorry, we don't have much time. I'm going to be very quick. So the main thing that we are recommending, prescribing for the entrepreneurs coming to our clinic is all about wellness, is all about their own health. How long, I mean, many of them stopped going to the gyms because of restrictions. They didn't do any exercise at home. Remember, your mentality should be ready to cope with these issues. So one of the key things that you need to think about is about the conversation and networking. You might say, oh, everybody are talking about networking, but practically many of entrepreneurs who fail, they don't implement the idea. If you ask them how many close friends you have, how many will you have in your personal network to communicate and share ideas, they say, I don't have so many. I haven't met anyone for so long. That's problematic. The technology has been helping us with the communication. One thing is that let's accept that the behaviors have changed. My parents, they used to go to the shop in the same alley, in the same street to buy their own things. They cannot do it right now. My 80-year-old father has learned to use one of those phones and order the things online. I taught him, he's doing it. And my mother has learned it as well. What is the most interesting hobby of my mother nowadays? I bought her a laptop. She knows how to use the internet in a third world country. So digital space is important. The same behavior applies to entrepreneurs, moving to the digital world, doing things online. Yeah. Thanks. I'll leave it with you, my friend.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, your organization is like your child. You had 9 months of tough situation. Now the beauty is waiting for you, isn't it? Now you just need to take care of it. I mean, our previous presenter talked about the caring mode. Now you are in the caring mode. Give a bit of training, structured, unstructured, semi-structured training to your kids. So think about your organization. Equip yourself with the hope. These are the two toys for you and for your kids as well. You both can play with this sort of thing. And yes, this is pretty much like we have. So my apologies for not bringing a lot of statistics and the research finding in a very formal way. But yes, I mean, this is something that's common between everyone who's sitting here. Yep, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.